Hi everyone! Welcome to our YouTube channel, Research Ready and Student Matters Hub by Doc Lin. Our lesson video is another methodology or design and quantitative research. In the past lesson videos, we have discussed first the descriptive survey, then the second, the descriptive correlational. Now we're going to discuss about descriptive causal comparative. Descriptive causal comparative, or also commonly known as ex post facto, is a methodological approach in quantitative research. So, ito ay kinakandak para malaman ang potential cause and effect relationships. I'll repeat, it seeks to understand and know or investigate the potential cause and effect relationships. However, this is also non-experimental because it does not manipulate variables. Meron kasing mga research na hindi po pwedeng i-conduct through experimental because of some ethical and natural concerns. So, ang pwede natin gamitin para malaman natin ang data at masagot natin yung problem ay sa pamamagitan ng paggamit ng causal comparative or ex post facto. So, malalaman pa natin ang details ng causal comparative at ex post facto pag napanood niyo ang lesson video na ito. Maaaring ang iba sa inyo ay nalilito rin. Ma'am, ano ba yung pagkakaiba ng descriptive correlational sa causal comparative? Kasi parang pareho sila because nandun yung word na relationships. I'll repeat, pag sinabi natin causal comparative, this would like to investigate or determine the potential cause and effect relationships of a pre-existing conditions. So you don't need to manipulate your variables, which is done when you do your experiment. Pag correlational naman, ang in-establish natin dito or ini-investigate ang relationship ng dalawang variables. So let's start discussing now what is causal comparative, its uses, and differences with correlational research. Let us continue discussing causal comparative. When we said causal comparative, it is also commonly known as ex post facto. Again, it's a methodological approach kung saan tinitignan natin yung potential cause and effect relationships by examining pre-existing groups or conditions. At hindi rin tayo nagkakaroon ng manipulation ng variables natin kasi ito ay non-experimental din. Ang ating causal comparative can be defined as a research design used to examine and identify potential cause and effect relationships by comparing pre-existing groups that differ in a particular variable of interest. Unlike experimental research, where researchers actively manipulate independent variables to observe their effects on dependent variables, ang causal comparative relies on observing naturally occurring variations between groups to infer possible causal links. So wala tayong gagawin sa ating dependent at independent variable or sa group 1 natin or group 2. I-observe lang natin kung paano nag-occur ang mga sitwasyon. So there is no manipulation of variables. Kailan ba ginagamit ang causal comparative? Or papaano ginagamit ang causal comparative at kailan? Unahin muna natin kung papaano siya gamitin. Unang dapat natin gawin ay i-identify natin yung groups na kasama sa ating study. You select 2 or more pre-existing groups that differ in the key variable of interest. For instance, you might choose groups of students who have and who have not received a specific type of educational intervention. Example, yung group 1 mo, students who have participated in the special reading program for the entire academic year. Siyempre, ang group 2 mo ay students who have not participated in the special reading program. Pagkatapos nating ma-identify yung ating groups, pangalawa, i-measure natin yung outcomes. We collect the data on the outcomes you wish to compare between these groups. So, for example, ang gusto mo ikumpara sa dalawang grupong ito ay academic performance, health outcomes, o kaya naman behavioral changes. Pangatlo, i-analyze natin yung differences nila. Gagamit tayo ng statistical methods para ma-compare natin yung outcomes natin between the groups and identify any significant differences. Ang pang-apat naman ay control for confounding variables. Siyempre, hindi natin makokontrol yung variables natin kasi hindi naman tayo experimental design. Pwede nating i-account sa other factors na pwedeng maka-influence dun sa results. Example, yung kanilang demographic profile, such as the age or socioeconomic status or any other baseline characteristics. Kailan naman ginagamit ang causal comparative? First, when manipulation is impractical or unethical. For example, you're studying the effects of exposure to natural disasters on mental health. Pero it cannot be ethically done or it cannot be ethically manipulated. So, comparing affected versus unaffected group is necessary rather than conducting an experiment. So, maghahanap ka ng dalawang grupo ng respondents mo na affected at hindi affected. Ikalawa, when studying naturally occurring groups, kung gusto mong maintindihan yung impact ng mga pre-existing condition or ng mga intervention sa isang grupo, such as comparing patients with different treatment regimens. So, pwede mong gamitin ang causal comparative. Mag-move naman tayo sa kanyang advantages at disadvantages. Ang advantages ng causal comparative, number 1, ethically feasibility or ethical feasibility. Kasi ina-allow niya yung researchers to study variables and conditions na cannot be ethically manipulated, as I have mentioned. Pangalawa, real-world relevance. It investigates naturally occurring groups. Nakakapag-provide siya ng insights that are more generalizable to real-world scenarios. Ibig sabihin, si researcher wala siyang ginagawa kung hindi iniimbestigahan niya lang kung ano na yung nag-o-occur. Pangatlo, exploratory tool. Pwede itong magamit or very useful siya for identifying potential relationships and generating hypothesis for further research. Ano naman yung kanyang mga disadvantages? 1, syempre, lack of causation. Hindi siya makapag-identify definitively ng causal relationship. Syempre, nandun yung absence ng controlled experimentation and random assignment because this type of research design is non-experimental. Second, confounding variables. Yung difficulties sa pagkocontrol ng all potential confounding factors na pwedeng maka-influence dun sa observed outcomes. At pangatlo, bias and limitations. Yung mga pre-existing differences between groups can introduce biases and it can affect the validity of the conclusions. Okay, let's have an example of a study and it's all about the study on academic performance. Ang objective ng study mo ay imbestigahan kung ang mga estudyante bang nagpa-participate sa after-schooling tutoring ay nagpe-perform better academically than those who do not participate in after-school tutoring. Ang independent variable mo is yung participation in after-schooling tutoring. So maybe they will answer yes or no. At ang dependent variable mo yung kanilang academic performance which can be measured by grades or a standardized test scores. After that, i-compare mo na ngayon yung academic outcomes ng students na umaten sa after-school tutoring at yung hindi umaten kung meron bang significant differences. Ang isa pang example, study on health outcomes. Ang objective ni researcher ay i-compare niya yung health outcomes between individuals na nagre-regularly exercise versus dun sa hindi. So, syempre, ang IB mo dito, tatanungin mo sila, do they have regular exercise? Yes or no. Ang dependent variable mo, yung health outcomes. Ang findings mo is yung differences in health matrix between the exercising and non-exercising group na pwedeng mag-indicate ng impact sa kanilang physical activity. Okay, so we will discuss the difference of causal comparative and correlational research as to their purpose first. Kasi maaring yung iba sa inyo nalilito, ma'am, parang pareho yung causal comparative at saka correlational. Ang causal comparative is done or chosen to investigate potential cause and effect relationships sa mga variables na ikino-compare mo yung mga pre-existing groups. So usually you have group 1 or group 2. It aims to determine if differences in an outcome variable can be attributed to a particular cause. As I have mentioned, kung magkakanda ka nito, halimbawa gusto mong malaman yung academic performance ng mga estudyante, hahanap ka kunyari ng isang school na nag-a-apply ng mga ganitong activity para ma-improve ang academic performance, at ito namang kabilang school ay hindi nag-a-apply ng kung ano mga activity. Pero hindi yung researcher ang gagawa nun. Kung hindi, ito ay nag-i-exist na. Ang correlational naman is to examine the relationships between two or more variables to determine if they are associated or correlated. So kung meron bang kinalaman ang isang variable sa isa pang variable. So kung ang isang variable ba ay nag-increase, ang isang variable din ba ay nag-increase or kabaliktaran, or they have opposite directions. It aims to identify patterns or relationships without applying cause and effect relationship or experiment. As to the design, yung causal comparative, it examines naturally occurring groups or conditions where the IB or the presumed cause is not manipulated by the researcher. Ang ginagawa lang ng researcher ay ino-observe niya at kino-compare niya yung effects of different conditions na nag-i-exist na. Ang correlational naman involves measuring variables and determining whether changes in one variable are associated with changes in another, which is not done in causal comparative. So, hindi siya doon. Wala siyang pakialam kung merong relasyon ang dalawang variable. Ang correlational, it does not involve also manipulating variables or nag-a-assign ng subjects to different conditions. Lastly, magbigay tayo ng example. Sa causal comparative, an example may be a study comparing academic performance between students who attend after-school tutoring sessions at yung isa namang grupo ay yung hindi. So yung researcher, tinitignan niya yung differences ng performance nitong dalawang ito. Tinitignan niya, i-explain niya kung ang tutoring ba ay may contributing factor dun sa differences na meron yung results ng dalawa. Pagdating naman sa correlational, yung study exploring the relationship between hours spent studying and academic performance, yung researcher would measure both variables and assess whether a higher number of study hours is associated with better grades. So napakalinaw ng difference ng causal comparative sa correlational research. Okay, congratulations! Natapos nyo yung video na to tungkol sa descriptive causal comparative. I hope na naliwanagan kayo ngayon dito sa isa pang design na ginagamit sa quantitative research. So kapag ito yung aking research questions, ito pala yung dapat kong gamitin. Dapat pala ito yung ginagamit kong research design na meron ako. Hindi pala palaging descriptive survey or hindi pala palaging descriptive evaluative or any other descriptive research design. Okay, so please like, share, and subscribe our YouTube channel para doon sa mga bago sa ating channel. Welcome! Welcome kayo dito sa ating YouTube channel at sigurado kong marami kayong matututunan pagdating sa research at iba pang bagay tungkol sa concerns ng mga estudyante. And it will be very much appreciated if you can share this YouTube channel to others para lumawak pa or lumaki ang ating YouTube community at mas marami pa tayong matulungan. Maraming salamat once again sa inyong panonood sa ating mga lesson videos. Always remember, we unlock insights to empower your minds. Thanks for watching everyone and see you on our next lesson video. Bye-bye and God bless.